Right, sir. So, in last class, we have chance to understand history of the data warehouse, how this data warehouse is came to the existence. Before 1970, what we were used to use. In 1970, what we used it. In 1980, what we were using it. And in 1990 is the 1 year which is came the data warehousing process, Now, thereafter we learned for data warehousing definitions. So we have two members. One guy is called as Bill Inman. Second guy is called as Ralph Kimball. They defined the data warehouse and they invented the process of the data warehouse. Hence, these two guys are called as fathers of data warehouse. We understand the definitions also perfectly. Then we went for what are the different types of columns are available in OVAW. We went and we understand we have three types of columns. One is called as key column, second is called as string column, third is called as measure column. Then we went for what are the main tables are available in the data warehouse. Mainly we have two types of tables. One is called as dimension tables, second is called as fact table. Then we went for schemas. We have three types of schemas. One is star schema, snowflake schema, and mixed schema. And what are the properties of the star, snowflake, and mixed schema? We have chance to understand. Now, till yesterday, whatever we discussed, the total is called as data warehousing concepts. Those data warehousing concepts are purely useful for all the tools irrespective of anything. That means you are learning any ETL tool or you are learning any reporting tool. ETL tools are like Informatica, DataStage, Avenue, ODI, OWB, BODA, like this, a number of things are available. Any ETL tool you want to learn, then data warehousing process is required. Any reporting tool like business objects, Cognos, MicroStrategy, ClickView, whatever it is. You want to learn anything, then we require what, sir? Then we require data warehousing concepts. So data warehousing concepts are common concepts which is required for any data warehousing tool to learn. Fine. Today onwards, whatever we are going to discuss purely OBAW, sir. So today onwards, I am expecting 1:2 ratio need to spend in the lab. That means whatever classes happened, then 2 hours you need to spend in the lab. Like that you need to practice it. Okay. Right. As part of that one, if you go and see first point, history of the OBAW, NQS company developed a tool called as NQS tool. Please open you people also same notes and try to see that one. History of the OBAW, NQS company developed a tool called as NQS tool. And Sibyl organization acquired NQS company and renamed NQS tool as Sibyl Analytics. So that is the reason OBAW, even though this term itself is available from the year of 2006, previously also this tool is available in the market, but it was known as Sibyl Analytics. Now, in the year of 2006, Oracle organization acquired Sibyl company and renamed Sibyl Analytics tool as OBAW 10G. So this is a product of Sibyl company, sir. This is a product of Sibyl company. As part of the entire organization acquisition, Sibyl CRM, Sibyl Analytics, everything is taken over by Oracle. Once you take in that one, you renamed Sibyl Analytics as OBAW. Okay. In the OBAW, the first versions are, these are the versions are available, 10.1.3.3.0, then 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. Whenever these two digits are equal, they are moving on to the next 4.0, 4.1, 4.2. In the 10th series, this is the 10G versions. In the 10th series, the latest version means 4.2 is the latest version, which is stopped in the year of 2010. Which is came in the year of 2006. Between 2006 and 2010, these many versions are changed. Right. Actually, if you take the 2006 that kind of enrollment, the number of projects executing on the OBAW platform is very less. Slowly, Oracle guy incorporated so many functionalities and is trying to grab the market. And by the time 2010, he is able to sustain in the market, and is also exposed his tool as one of the competitor for the other reporting tools. Now, in the 2010, one biggest change is happened. The biggest change is OBA11G release. OBA11G release. In OBAW11G, it is released in the 2010. It is released in the 2010, and thereafter 5 version, 6 version, 7 version. Even now, if you want, you can make this as 7.1. I mean to say, directly software is not available. However, once you installed OBAW 11.1.1.7, on top of that one, if you install the patch, we have the bundle patch, one thing is there. The patch, if you install, then automatically the 7.0 becomes now 7.1. So we have one more version that is known as 11.1.1.7.1 version. Okay, however, this is not a direct software, sir. We need to install first 11.1.1.7.0. On top of that one, we need to install patch. So that it becomes 11.1.1.7.1. Okay, most of the projects which are executing in the 11G only, sir, no doubt in that. Okay, let us say if I take on the scale of 10, 7 is executing on that 11G, and remaining 3 may be executing on the 10G. Okay, right. However, people are, even though the project is going in the 10G, in the interview they will expect some understanding, some knowledge from the 11G. Okay, that is the reason we are going for primary focus is 11G and secondary focus is 10G. That means primarily we are going to discuss the latest version, whatever available, OBAW 11.1.1.7 is the what we are going to discuss. And once you discuss this one, what are the major changes are occurring? Those things we are going to discuss in the 10G. Present we are discussing what, sir? 11.1.1.7.0 is the version what we are discussing. Right. So let us move on to the next point. So types of components. Whenever you install a product, whenever you install a software product, immediately we are going to get some components. For example, let us say if you go and see Microsoft Office, whenever you install this Microsoft Office, I got here some components, right? Suppose MS Office Word. This is useful to prepare your documents. MS Office Outlook. It is useful to send or receive or schedule or creating the task. These all things are useful in the Outlook. Okay, that means one software if install will get n number of products, n number of components or clients, n number of components or clients. These components are divided into two types. One is called as web-based components, second is called as Windows-based components. What do you mean by web-based components? What do you mean by Windows-based components? Right. If you go and see here, tell me this Microsoft Office Word component, can you open using URL? No. So it is what, sir? It is a Windows-based component. Simple definition is something you can open using web-based, using URL, then it is called as what, sir? Web-based component. Something you cannot open using URL, then you can say straight away what, sir? Windows-based component. That's what you can identify. Is it a Windows-based or web-based? In our OBA, once you are doing the installation, let us say I am going for here, then I am trying to type here one URL, http, then rritec, then 7001/em. em stands for Enterprise Manager. Whenever I entered, immediately we are getting one component we are getting that is known as Enterprise Manager component we are getting. So whatever we got here, Enterprise Manager, it is a Windows-based component or web-based component, sir? It is a web-based component. Similarly, I have one more component, let us say HTTP, same URL, sir, tell me rritec, then what, sir? OBAW by default port number is 7001. Like Oracle database by default port number is 1521. Okay, and by default Informatica port number is 6005. Okay, similarly, this one by default port number is what, sir? 1521. Sorry? Yeah, 7001. Then go for next one, let us say console. Console. Whenever I type here console, we got here console, we got, this is also known as administration console. That means creating users, creating groups, creating users, creating groups, okay, mapping users to groups. Okay, these all things will be happens using what, sir? Console. These all things will happens using console. This is one more component. And if you go for similarly one more component, HTTP, RRITEC, then port number is what, sir? 7001, and XMLP server. Nowadays we are calling it as BA publisher, right? Previously it was known as XML publisher. There is reason the URL is came as XMLP, stands for XML publisher. Now if I enter this one, then you can see here one component is going to open. That component, whatever it is opening, that is called as BA publisher. That component is called as BA publisher. It is opening. Still it is opening. What it is open, sir? Oracle BA publisher enterprise. So what I would like to say is something you can open using URL. It is called as web-based component. Something you can open using URL, then it is called as web-based component. Now, if you go for one more thing, let us say all programs, Oracle Business Intelligence, BA administration. This also came as part of the OBAW installation. If I click on this BA administration, I am getting one tool. This tool is known as Oracle BA administration tool. Tell me, this Oracle BA administration tool, can you open using URL? You cannot open using URL, hence it is called as what, sir? Windows based component. Now if people understand, if I given one component to your hand, this component is web based or Windows based, means simply you are going to ask one question, can I open this one using URL? Yes means yes, it is web based. No means it is what, sir? Windows based. Identification is very simple. Coming to the benefits, which is more benefit than Windows based or web based? Sorry, web based is the more benefit. Why, sir? Suppose even in my laptop I don't have any software, nothing to worry. If I am available in the network or component is properly deployed, at that moment what I can do, sir? I can open using URL, I can open web-based component using my laptop. Security need not worry, sir. Security need not worry. We have the username and password authentication properly. We are managing it. Okay. If you think like in web-based components there is no security, then there is no Facebook, there is no Google+, there is no Gmail. Yes or no? We have in web-based components also, we have security processes properly defined. Even though hacking, these all things are common process. Okay, but we have one strong process is available. Yes or no? Right. So don't think like in web-based component there is no security. Okay, web-based components also have its own security processes available, but you need to learn that one, you need to adapt that one. That's it. Okay, one point what I want to tell is freedom of the customer. That means he need not install any software of the OBAW in his mission. Without installing any software in his mission, he can open the web-based component. That is what the flexibility. Whereas in Windows-based component, if you want to work, means compulsory you need to install what, sir? That OBAW software you need to install. That is what the flexibility we are losing it. So I can say one point as flexibility. Web-based components are more flexible than Windows-based components. Web-based components are more flexible than Windows-based components. That is the one thing. And second point, more number of users working. Let us say any Windows-based component you take, sir. Only one user can work at a time. If I take MS Word is the document. In MS Word document, let us say I kept in the share path. I am opening and I am working on that one. Can you open in the same second, same document, and can you work on that one? No. So only one person can work on the Windows-based component. Here also same rule is applicable. Only one person can work on it. Whereas web-based component, Gmail I can open, you can open, anyone can open at the same second. That means in web-based components, multiple users are working or not, sir? Yes, that is the multi-user functionality. That is the second plus point with respect to web-based. Am I clear? That is the reason slowly our world is turning towards the web-based, If you take the initial softwares and all, we used to work in the desktop environment. That means what, sir? All the softwares will be available as a Windows-based. Now slowly people are growing up and they are trying to convert their softwares into the Windows-based to web-based as much as possible. Okay, these are the two main points what I want to add for the web-based components advantages over the Windows-based components. One is what, sir? Flexibility. User need not install the software of the OBW to open and to work with the OBW. Number two is what, sir? What I said? Multi-user. Multiple users can work simultaneously on the web-based, whereas Windows-based it is not possible. These are the 2 points which I want to discuss. Of course, in Windows-based environments also, we have some extra functionalities they are incorporating. Using that extra functionalities, multiple users can work it. I mean to say, suppose Microsoft Office Excel is Windows-based only, but still by default one member only can work on it. But still, Microsoft guy come up with one thing that is called as here. One option is available. That is what, sir? Share workbook. If I use the share workbook functionality, then multiple users can work on the same Microsoft Office Excel. But by default functionality is what, sir? Only one member can work on it. So even Windows-based components also, to make multiple users to work on it, each and every guy is come up with some kind of solutions. Okay, right? Even our OBW also with Windows-based components, we want to work. We do have some kind of solutions. We are going to learn those things down the line. Now, you people understand one point very clearly. We have components. How many types of components are available? 2 types. One is called as Windows-based. Second is called as web-based. Windows-based components are also known as thick clients or non-browser based clients. Examples of that one is administration tool, catalog manager, job manager, start-based services. These all things are examples. Simply what I can say is, whatever you are seeing in the all programs, Oracle Business Intelligence, whatever you are seeing here, these all things are called as Windows-based components. Whatever you are not seeing, those URLs you need to remembering, right? This is what the URLs you are remembering. These all things are called as what, sir? Web-based components. Enterprise Manager, Console, BA Publisher, Analytics, these all things are called as web-based components. Okay, right. Now you can see here, web-based components are, one is Console, second is Enterprise Manager, third is Analytics, fourth is BA Publisher, fifth is Real-Time Decisions, like this, a number of things are there. Now let us go for the next one, OB11G components. OB11G components. OB11G divided into 2 types. One is called as Windows-based, second is web-based components. As part of this OB11G, what we are going to learn and what is the purpose of each and everything we need to learn. In OBW11G, we are going to learn down the line. Down the line, we are going to learn these all components. We are going to learn it. These all components are going to learn it. In that one, first component is available, that is called as administration tool. Administration tool mainly useful for the purpose of what, sir? Semantic layer. What do you mean by semantic layer? Observe this diagram once. Yesterday, while I am discussing the demo, while I was discussing about the demo, we have here one layer. That layer is known as, what is the layer, sir? Semantic layer. Then followed by, we have what, sir? N number of reports. Then followed by, we have dashboard. This is what available. So as a reporting guy, mainly you need to do 3 activities. Number 1 is semantic layer development. Number 2 is reports development. Number 3 is dashboards development. These are the 3 activities whatever available. Now let us go and try to understand what you mean by semantic layer. Okay, right. Semantic layer is a middle layer between between data warehouse and reporting, sir. Between data warehouse and reporting. Even semantic itself meaning is middle. Semantic itself meaning is what, sir? Middle layer. And the semantic layer is more reusable in the nature. That means, let us say one calculation I created inside the semantic layer. One calculation I created inside the semantic layer that I can drag and drop into n number of reports. For example, let us say I am going to the reporting end. I am developing one report here. Don't try to understand anything. Just see the navigation, we come to understand later point of time. Suppose I have here, these all things are what, sir? Derived columns. Suppose I calculate here cuts or pending orders for your understanding purpose. Year wise, month code wise, okay, what are the pending orders are available? Click on the results, I am able to develop this report. These pending orders I calculated in the semantic layer. I calculated what, sir? In the semantic layer. If I want to develop another report, I can develop another report and I can use pending order in that report also. That means it is more reusability or not, sir? More reusability. That's the reason any BI tool you take, we have semantic layer, but the semantic layer in different tools, we'll call it as different names. For example, in our OBAWE case, the semantic layer is known as RPD. In our OBAWE case, the semantic layer is known as what, sir? RPD. Okay, RPD stands for repository file. RPD stands for repository file. Actually, the repository file is going to store at the extension of RPD. I mean to say, if you go and see here, OBAWE home, instance 1, BA foundation, Oracle base server component, core applications, repository. In this location, I have all the RPDs are available. What is the extension, sir? RPD. What is the type of file, sir? Oracle BA repository files. Okay, there is no separate meaning for R and P and D, sir. RPD stands for repository files. There is no letter-wise acronyms available, some of the extensions. Suppose you take the .xls. Microsoft Office Excel is storing with the extension of what, sir? .xls. Do I have a meaning for XLS like that? No. XLS means what, sir? Excel, that's it. Okay, .doc, let us MS Word document is storing as .doc. D stands for something, O stands for something, C stands for something. No. Doc stands for document, that's it. Similarly, RPD stands for a repository file. RPD stands for a repository file. So what I mean to tell here is, in our OBAWE, whatever semantic layer is available, that is called as what, sir? RPD file. That is called as RPD file. If you go for another tools like Cognos or SAP BO like the tools, suppose I am taking here one tool, the tool is called as semantic layer in Cognos is called as what, sir? .cpf. CPF stands for Cognos project file, or it is also known as model. Semantic layer in SAP BO is called as what, sir? Universe. Semantic layer in MicroStrategy is called as architect. What I mean to tell from these all examples is, whatever reporting tools you take, semantic layer is commonly available. And this semantic layer in different tools will call with the different names. Semantic layer is a general word. The general word in different tools will call it with the local names. In case of OBAWE, local name is what, sir? RPD or repository file. Now, first point. We are learning what first components we are learning. So the first component is called as administration tool. The first component we have started to learning. We will discuss these all things down the line one by one. Okay, administration tool. Administration tool is useful. To develop what, sir? Semantic layer. Semantic layer in OBAWE is called as repository file or RPD file. Next point. The extension of repository file is .rpd. That is the reason it is known for RPD file, sir. So many people are calling as RPD file only. Okay, repository file calling people are only 10%. 90% people used to call RPD. Okay, some files will be famous with their extensions only. Like PDF is available. Everyone is saying PDF. No one is saying portable document format. Yes or no, sir? Some files will be get famous with their extensions. Now let us move on to the next one, that is called as semantic layer, is also called as metadata layer. Here one new word is came, metadata. What is it, sir? Metadata. What do you mean by metadata? Right. If you go and see any database, I am seeing here only two types of things I am seeing, sir. If you go for any database, I will have here, I think only two things are available. One is called as titles. Second is called as values. Titles, examples are, let us say, column names. What is that, sir? Column names. And values is, let us say, Rom. Rom is one value. Okay. John is one value. Nancy is one value. These all things are what, sir? Values. Okay. Column name is, let us say, employee name is the column name. And corresponding values are what, sir? These all are values. So all the titles are called as metadata. All the titles are called as what, sir? All the titles are called as metadata. All the values are called as what, sir? Data. All the values are called as data. And without metadata, there is no meaning for data, sir. Without metadata, there is no meaning for data. What I mean to tell. Suppose I written here A, B, C, D, E, F. Then something I written here E, Z, H, J, something. Now I written here 100. Here I written 200. Can you comment about what is this one? It may be a book name. It may be a student name. It may be a subject name. It may be anything else also. Similarly, this 100 also, it may be student number. It may be the amount paid by student. It may be something else also. Yes or no? We are not able to comment on what is this. Now, but we are sure 100% this is some data. Yes or no, sir? This is some data, but we don't know what is that data. I am writing here something else. Let us say e-name. Then I am writing here commission I am writing. By seeing these titles, you are coming to understand, okay, this is something looks like a names of the columns, right? Names of the columns. But end of the day, these things also called as some kind of data or not, sir? Some kind of data. This e-name, commission, whatever available, if I keep here, now tell me this got full meaning or not, sir? That means this data is giving meaning to this data. This data is giving what, sir? Meaning to this data. Any one data is giving meaning to another data. Any one data is giving meaning to another data, then that data is called as what, sir? Metadata. That is the reason metadata is defined as data about data is called as metadata. This data is talking about this data. This data is talking about what, sir? This data, hence this data is called as metadata. That's what the definition here came. Data about data is called as metadata. Data about data is called as metadata. Examples of the metadata is table names, view names, stored procedure names, column names. These all things will be falling under examples. Remember one point. Any data warehousing tool, Informatica or Data Stage or BO or OBA, anything, we are going to work only with the metadata. I mean to say, tell me, I am developing one report here, sir. Go to the new analysis, B200 supplier sales representative. I want here top 10 customers I want. Top 10 customers I want. So I am taking customer name. I am taking dollars. I am going to the dollars, filter. Filter is in top. Let us say 10. Okay. Now I am trying to click on result. Before clicking on result, tell me, I am working with the column names. Yes or no, sir? I am working with the metadata or not, sir? I am working with the metadata. In my OBAW, I have only metadata. In my OBAW tool, I have only what, sir? Metadata. Whenever I click on results here, at that point of time, it is doing what, sir? It is going to the database. It is executing one SQL query, it is executing one SQL query, and it is giving data to you, and it is giving data to you. If you go and see the SQL query also, this is what the SQL query, it is executing the database and is giving the data to you. Less than 10, it is writing something. So what I mean to tell is, you are working with the metadata. Whenever you are running that metadata, backend it is firing one SQL query to the database. From the database you are getting what, sir? Data. So primarily any tool we are going to work with metadata at the time of running. At the time of running, we are going to get the data from the database. Am I clear? Suppose we have the website. You want to see the transaction. Let us say net banking you went. You went to the net banking application. There we have the different filters by saying I want statement from, let us say, April 1st, 2014 to April 5th, 2014, like that you selected from and to, and you click on the submit button. That means whatever you selected, that one, that is metadata or not, sir? That metadata you are sending to the database, and that at that point of time from the database it is querying and is giving data to you. Yes or no? That's what I want to say is, initially we are going to work with the metadata. At the time of running, corresponding SQL will be generating and executing in the database, and we are going to get the data to you. Similarly, our OBI also working. Now, we people understand what is the meaning of metadata. What is the meaning of metadata? Metadata means what, sir? Data about data is called as metadata. Data about data is called as metadata. All of you people should have this book with you, sir. Need not write any white paper notes. Okay, all people should have this kind of book with you. Already I am giving this printed copy to you people. If you have this book with you, then you can understand very clearly. Okay, need not write any single point also. Maybe some examples which are not covered here, those things interesting, then you can write as, you can use this footer of the page or header of the page or left side of the page or right side of the page, and you can write in the same, under the same heading if you are writing that point also, so that we will be giving some justification for the data warehouse. Data warehouse means what, sir? All information should have it one place, right? Being a data warehousing student, we should have all the information should be at one place. Am I clear? Right. Now, let us move on to the next one that is called as in SAP BO. In SAP BO, semantic layer is called as what, sir? Universe. Semantic layer in Cognos is called as what, sir? CPF, that is Cognos project file or model. Now, we come up with the next one that is called as, in creating RPD, we have 3 steps. In creating RPD, we have what, sir? 3 steps are available. What are the 3 steps? One is called as creating physical layer. Second is called as creating BMM layer. Third is called as creating presentation layer. These are the 3 steps are available. We are going to start the hands-on one, creating what, sir? Physical layer. Creating physical layer. That means slowly we jumped into the 3 points to hands-ons. 3 points to hands-ons. Our course will be go like this only, hands-on 1, hands-on 2, hands-on 3, like this will go. Now hands-on 1, we need to understand what, sir? Creating physical layer. Right, how to create this physical layer, I am going to explain clearly. Let us move on to the hands-on one, physical layer. In that one, step 1 is available, creating RPD file and importing metadata. Before going for this one, let me recall what we discussed today. We started our life with the history of the OBW. Initially, the tool is developed by Encure company. It is also known as NQS company. And the tool is known as NQS tool. Thereafter, civil organization acquired this NQS tool and renamed the NQS tool as Civil Analytics. Thereafter, in 2006, Oracle company acquired entire civil organization and renamed Civil Analytics tool as, what's sir? OBW. And 2006 to 2010, he did a lot of hard work and he changed so many versions and he's trying to grab the market. And in 2011, he taken big decision. The decision is releasing the OBI 11G. If you take OBW 10G, what is the size of software, you know? 750 MB. If you take the OBW 11G software, the size of software is 5.3 GB. So that much of drastic changes, that much of new functionalities are came into the 11G. 11G is part of Fusion middleware. In the Fusion middleware, business intelligence, if I say, that is what, sir? That is our OBW. In Fusion middleware, business intelligence, if I say, that is our OBW. And in Oracle guy has lot of tools like Hyperion, okay, Hyperion financial reporting actually, and he also has a BA publisher, and also he has that discoverer reporting. These all things also integrated inside the OBW. So any customer is came and you looking for some BA tool, means you'll propose first is what, sir? OBA tool is what is going to propose it. Am I clear? Right. Now, in that way, in 2010, we taken good decision releasing the 11G. The first version is 11.1.1.3. I'm not sure, somehow this Oracle guy, whatever he released the first version, that will be somewhat bugs will be available, sir. Most bugs will be available. Like that in 11.1.1.3 also, so many bugs are available. That is the reason within another 3 months, they come up with the 11.1.1.5 version. Thereafter 11.1.6 version is came, and 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. These all are stable versions only. Only 0.3 version is what, sir? Not that stable. We have full of bugs in that one. Some of the functionalities wise, we have bugs in that one. Now, present version, whatever it is running is 0.7 version is the present whatever it is running. We understand that one. Whenever we install OBW 11G software, we'll get some components. These components are divided into two types. One is called as Windows-based components. Second is called as web-based components. Identifying component is very easy. Anything which is opened using URL, then it is called as web-based component. Anything which is opened without URL, then it's called as what, sir? Windows-based component. And the flexibility web-based components over the Windows-based components is in 2 points. One is what, sir? Flexibility. Second is what, sir? Multi-user working. So web-based components, wherever I am available in the world, no problem. I can access that one if I have proper internet connection. Then Windows-based components you cannot access like that. Yes or no? That is what called as flexibility. Second is called as multi-user environment. That means by default in web-based components, anyone can work, anyone can log in at the same time, and they can work on that one. That means multiple users can log in same time and they can work with the web-based components. Whereas Windows-based is what, sir? One person by default. If you want to make MUD environment, multi-user development environment, you can make that one. That means special configuration is required. Now we learned some of the Windows-based components examples, web-based components examples also. Windows-based components example is what, sir? Administration tool is Windows-based component. Web-based component example is what, sir? Enterprise manager, console, BA publisher, analytics. These all things are web-based components examples. Then we started our journey with the administration tool. Administration tool is useful to develop what's a semantic layer. Semantic layer in OBW is called as repository file. The repository file extension is .rpd, hence it is also known as RPD file. Same semantic layer in Cognos is called as Cognos project file or modal. Same semantic layer in SAP BO, it's called as what, sir? Universe. Same semantic layer in MicroStrategy, it's called as Architect. Now, the semantic layer is also known as metadata layer. Metadata stands for data about data is called as metadata. Examples of metadata are column names, table names, etc. These all things are available. Now we started our journey in how to develop the repository file or RPD file. In development of repository file or RPD file, we have 3 steps. Number 1 is creating physical layer, then creating BMM layer, creating presentation layer. These are the 3 steps what are available. In that one, we are starting our journey with the hands-on one, creating physical layer. Hands-on one, creating physical layer. Yes, some question is going on. What is the question? Yeah, only one person can work in RPD at a time. Answer is yes. By default, only one member can work in the RPD. However, we have a concept that we need to do down the line. If you go for the specialist level, we have a concept. The concept is known as what, sir? Multi-user development environment concept is available. If you do this multi-user development environment, if you go and see here, I have here MUDE, multi-user development environment. Multi-user development environment. If you go and if you do the setup, if you go and do the setup as some steps are available here. The steps if you complete here, then it is fit for what, sir? Multiple users can go and can work on that one. But by default with installation, what, sir? Only one member can work on it. Only one member can work on it. Am I clear? Right. Now, let us go for, we understand basics about the administration tool. We are moving on towards our hands-on one physical layer. Hands-on one physical layer. Okay. I would like to give control to someone. Let us say, Kanan, I am giving control to you. Kanan, I am giving control to you. I gave control. Okay, from here, working is very easy, sir. Working is very easy. Just follow the notes and try to do the things. On the way, I will explain what is the meaning of each and everything. Now, first point is available that is called as Start, All Programs, Oracle Business Intelligence, BA Administration. That means we are trying to open first component in the BA Administration. And remember, as of now, I didn't discuss OB11G architecture and OBW servers is all things. That means to work with the semantic layer, there is no servers you need to start in the OBW. Okay. And architecture also you come to understand down the line I'm going to explain it. As of now, just try to create the physical layer. For that, open the BA administration tool. Go to the start. Yes, correct. Then all programs. Perfect. Start all programs. Then Oracle Business Intelligence. Then BA administration. Whenever we click on the BA administration, we are getting one tool that is known as BA administration tool. Maximize that one. Maximize that one. Right. Now you can see here, I have the file menu. In the file menu, if you go and see one option is available that is known as what, sir? New repository. New repository option is available. Click on that new repository option. Right. So what you did is, this is what we did as part of the second step. Go to the file menu, then click on what, sir? New repository. Then provide the name as something. Then provide the repository password something. And retype the password something. Click on the next. Before going for these all third, fourth, fifth, sixth points, I would like to discuss something about this window. Right. If you see this window is known as, what's that? Creating new repository wizard. Creating new repository wizard. Wizard is nothing but some sequence of steps. This is creating new repository wizard. In this wizard, I have how many steps are available, sir? Total 6 steps are available. Number one is called as providing the repository information. Number 2 is selecting your database. Number 3 is selecting your metadata types. Select metadata objects, map to the logical model, publish to the warehouse. These all 6 steps are going to do one by one now. First step, as part of that one, we are doing what, sir? Repository information we are trying to provide. As part of the repository information, I have two options here. Create your repository in the binary format, or you can create a repository in the MDS XML documents format. Now, whenever you select your MDS XML documents, your location is changing. Yes or no, sir? See, the options are changing or not? Options are changing. If you go for MDS XML documents, then what is expecting is you need to browse it and you need to point to some location. Mainly this one will go for MDS stands for multi-dimension source. Whenever we have the multi-dimension source are available, at that moment we will go for the XML documents. Whenever we have proper database, let us say Oracle. Oracle means what, sir? The data end of the day is storing backend in zeros and one format. Yes or no? SQL Server, zeros and one format. DB2, zeros and one format. Whatever database you take, most of the database will be storing the data in what format, sir? Zeros and one format only. That is the reason, as of now, let us go and start our journey with the binary first. I am selecting this binary option. Then I need to provide here one name. Your batch number is if you go and see here, what is the last batch, sir? Batch 200 is the last batch. Your batch number is batch 201. Okay, if you see your senior batches, while you're practicing in the lab also, while you're practicing the lab, you can see here B198 and B199 batch people are available. Yes or no, sir? B200 batch people are available. These are the 3 batch people which will have, those guys will be available in the lab. If you get any doubt, ask them, boss, what to do here. They are going to explain to you. Even though I am not available, your senior students are going to help you out what to do exactly. Am I clear? So your senior batch numbers are 98, 99, 200 are your senior batch numbers. Your batch number is B201 is your batch number, so I am giving here B201. While you are sending the mails also, I want access related things, videos access or material access, anything, please try to declare your batch number also, so that we can identify your batch name and everything. Am I clear, sir? What I am trying to say? Right. Your batch number is B201. Then underscore I am giving the EBA. EBA stands for what, sir? Enterprise Business Analysis or Analytics. Enterprise Business Analytics. So this naming convention I learned from the BA apps. I mean to say, Oracle guy is going to give by default one RPD, right? With the installation of BA apps, OBAA. Down the line we come to understand what is OBAA. OBAA is nothing but what's a free-defined work. Whatever free-defined work is giving the name what he provides, sir. Enterprise Business Analytics he provide. Why he provide like that, sir? Already people are aware of it. In any project, you may have a number of OLTPs, but how many data warehouse will be there, sir? Only one. On top of the data warehouse, you are developing the reporting. Yes or no, sir? So it is called as you are analyzing enterprise or not? You are analyzing enterprise. HR related questions, sales related questions, service relevant questions, whatever relevant questions are available, I am here to answer those things. That is the reason we are naming this as what, sir? Enterprise Business Analytics. Enterprise Business Analytics. Okay, right. Now, that is the reason I given here name as EBA. And next one, location. Wherever you want to save this file, you can save in that location. We have your browse option. You can click on the browse and you can save wherever you want. On desktop also you can save it. But however, the recommended location or by default location, whenever you install your OBAWE, you will get one folder. That folder is known as OBAWE Home. What is the folder, sir? OBAWE Home. Then inside this one, instance 1, inside this one, BA Foundation, Oracle BA Server Component, Core Application. There I have the repository folder. This is the where the by default RPDs all will be storing. Don't try to by heart this path, sir. Path automatically will remember after some time. We have some techniques to remember this one. Okay, as of now, by default path is what, sir? Repository path. By default path is what, sir? Repository path it is going to store. As of now, if you go and see, do I have here B201? I am trying to refresh also. Do I have here B201? No. But after few seconds, we are able to see the B201 underscore EBA. That's what our RPD name. Now, import metadata. From where you want to import the metadata? You want to import metadata immediately now. You need to click on what, sir? Yes. Just I want to create now empty repository only. Down the line I am going to insert what, sir? Data, metadata. At that moment I can click on what, sir? No. Now I want to import down immediately the metadata. That's the reason I am selecting yes. Suppose your metadata is coming from XML files. Then you can select what, sir? XML. As of now, most of the projects will not use XML, sir. Everyone will go for binary only. Okay, we have very rare scenarios are available with XML. I will talk about that later point of time. Now, whatever you are seeing, the next one that is called as repository password. This repository password is a new feature in 11G. In case of 10G, there is no RP level password. How many people are using credit card, sir? Credit card, something like that, any bank account, debit card, something. You got the statement of the credit card or debit card. Whenever you are trying to open that PDF file, it is going to ask the password or not, sir. Similarly, this also. Today we are going to decide the password. Tomorrow, anyone or you are opening this one, this file you are trying to open, it is going to ask you what is the password. If you provide that password, then only it is going to open. This kind of functionality not there in 10G. This functionality is introduced in 11G. That's what I mean to tell. You got my point, right? Okay. Now, suppose now I am providing your password as RR capital ITEC small 123. RR capital ITEC small 123. Okay, whatever some documents, whatever I am providing here, these documents also sometimes used to ask some passwords, sir. Suppose if you go for the specialist level, I have here target and load, something is available here. It's asking what, sir? Enter the password. This password is, what is the password you need to type? RR capital ITEC small 123 is the password. So this is the password what I am maintaining, standard password for our open secret of the RR attack. Okay, any documents or any software or OBW software password, anywhere password means what, sir? RR capital ITEC small 123. That's what I am following in RR attack. That is open secret. Now click on the next. Whenever I clicked on the next, you can observe here first step is completed. We are moving on to what, sir? First step is completed. We are moving on to second step. When our first step is completed, if you go back end and if see in the repository folder, if you go back end and you see in the repository folder, right click, refresh it, we are seeing what, sir? B201 underscore EBA.rpd with the size of what, sir? 2 KB. That means just it is created one blank. That's it. As of now, we didn't work much. Now it is the type of file is what, sir? Oracle BA repository file. At what time it is created, sir? Just now it is created. Just now it is created. That means if people understand, one file is creating backend, one file is creating backend. So semantic layer is nothing but what, sir? One file. Semantic layer or RPD file is nothing but what, sir? One file. The file is RPD file. Okay. That point is very clear. We completed the first point. Next, let us move on to the second. Select your data source. Your data source may be Oracle database. Your data source may be DB2 database. Your data source may be SQL Server. Your data source may be Teradata. Anything, whatever you want, you can select here. However, if you go and see this connections are available. Only these connections are available. If you want to contact Oracle, no problem. OCI 10G 11G. OCI means what, sir? Oracle Call Interface. OCI stands for Oracle Call Interface. Now, here I have the DB2. DB2 if you want to contact means DB2 you can go. If you want to contact SBase, you can go for the SBase, no problem. Now, however, if I want to go to the Teradata, do I have here? If I want to go to the SQL Server, do I have here? If I want to go to the MySQL, I don't have. That is the reason these connections are divided into two types. One is called as native connection. Second is called as, what's that? ODBC connection. Whatever in the drop down it is available, those things are called as what, sir? Native connection. Whatever in the drop down by default it is not available, those things are ODBC. That means whatever drop down available you can select and you can play around it. Suppose Teradata corresponding connection is what, sir? Not available. At that moment you need to go for ODBC connection. So connections are two types. One is called as native connection. Second is called as ODBC connection. Always first priority goes towards a native connection. If native connection is not available for one database, at that point of time, at that moment you need to look for what, sir? ODBC. At that point of time you need to look for ODBC. Am I clear? Right. So connections are two types. One is native connection. Second is ODBC connection. As of now, I want to contact what database, sir? Oracle database. So I am selecting here OCI 10G 11G. Whenever I select OCI 10G 11G, that corresponding data source name, username, password is asking. Suppose you want to contact SAP. At that moment, it is going to ask SAP corresponding details. So as for the database, it is going to ask, what, sir? Corresponding usernames and corresponding passwords. Now you want to go to the Oracle database, Oracle 10G, 11G, I am selecting. What is the data source name? What is the username? What is the password is asking. How I come to understand this one? Sir? Right. Oracle database always will install the server in one CPU. Oracle database server will install in what, sir? In one CPU. And the Oracle database client we are going to install what, sir? In a number of systems. Let us say 10 members are working in the Oracle database. Then what will happen is only one server I will install and 10 clients I will install. These all 10 clients are going to communicate with the server by taking help of one file. That file is known as TNS file. These all 10 clients are going to communicate with the server by using what, sir? TNS file. Where the TNS file is available is, we go to the My Computer, then C drive, then app, administrator, then we have here product 11.2.0, DB home 1, then network, then admin. There I have one file. That file is what, sir? TNS names file is available. Inside this TNS names file, if you go and see, here I have, what is your connection, sir? ORCL. ORCL is your service name. ORCL is what, sir? Your service name. Or I can call it as database name. And it is installed in, what is the host, sir? Local host. That means in my case, server and client, everything is available on the same CPU. Suppose you are using your laptop as a laptop and you want to contact some server. At that moment, what you need to write here, sir? The server IP address or server computer name, whatever available, network name, that network name you need to provide here. You got my point? Now, in my case, my database name is what, sir? ORCL. Username and password, you need to ask the database admin, whoever is available, that admin you need to ask the username and password you need to provide here. Okay. Now you people understand here one point. That point is called as TNS names files means what? TNS name file contains important information. What is your service name? What is your database name? And where is your server is available? Where is your server is available? Which servers are? Database server is available. Database server is available. Okay. Right. I am closing this one. One question is going on, how to add multiple data sources. Yes, I am going to answer this one after a few seconds, sir. Give me some time. End of the class, you are going to understand. Now, you people understand here, what is the data source name? My data source name is, what, sir? ORCL. And next, username. Any username you can provide, sir. As usual, Scott and Tiger, you can provide it. But in our RRI tech, we are going to use our own schema we are going to use, that is called as supplier 2. That is called as supplier 2. If you are installing your own, then supplier 2 is not coming automatically with the Oracle installation. The supplier 2 data is available with me. I am providing the data as a DMP file. I am providing the data in the OBAW lab copy. In OBAW lab copy, if you go and see, I have one file. That file is what, sir? Supplier2.dmp is available. If it is not available in the top, you go to the lab data. Inside the lab data, it might be available. Okay, here it is not there in my case. In our case, it will be available, sir. Inside the lab data folder, we have what, sir? Supplier2.dmp is available. Okay, and the supplier2.dmp, we can how to import also one document is available. Try to follow this document and try to import it. Open the file location, okay, and try to do this one. Whatever 3 or 4 streams are available here. Okay, if you import this one, then whatever data I am going to work down the line, those all data will be imported to your database. Am I clear? You got my point, sir? Right. Now, as of now, I am giving my username as supplier2, 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 and password also supplier2, and password is case sensitive, sir. So provide the password in the small case only, supplier2 in the small case. Now, click on next. Now, whenever you clicked on next, did you observe or not? Second point is completed. We are jumping on to what, sir? Third point. We are jumping on to third point. Second is completed. In our Oracle database, whatever you selected here Oracle, in our Oracle database, you may have a number of objects. It may be table, it may be primary keys or foreign keys. Okay, it may be system tables or aliases or synonyms or views, whatever it is. Whatever you want to import, those things you need to select here. As of now, I want to import tables, keys, foreign keys by default. Select those things, click on next. So with this I completed third step, that is called as select metadata types. Then based on the username supplied to, whatever permissions are available in the database, those all things I am able to see it. Even your regularly used schema, what sir? Scott. Inside that what sir? Department table. Department table inside what sir? Some columns. Everything we are seeing or not sir? Now, however, I want to work with one schema. That schema is what sir? Supplier 2. If I open the supplier 2, I want here some tables. One table is called as here. One table is called as here products. Then second table is called as here orders. And next calendar, next customer. Yesterday, did you notice or not? While I was explaining the star schema, I used 4 tables. One is what sir? One fact table, 3 dimension tables, right? Fact table is orders table. Then customers table, products table, time table. The same 4 tables only I am selecting here also. Calendar in my case calendar means what sir? Time. Customer means customer only, orders means order only, product means product only. Those 4 tables I am trying to import here. While you are importing, don't use bottom button sir. Bottom is what sir? Import all. That means all the things is going to import it. That is going to make your system hang for some time. Because so many objects are available in the database, right? Those all things importing means is going to take longer time. That is the reason don't use this button. Use what sir? Only import selected option. That means whatever you selected here, that only you need to select. And I observed here some people are selecting like this. That is wrong. You are selecting supply to means what sir? Supply to entirely are trying to move here. While you are selecting also, you should be very careful. Whatever objects you want, you need to select those objects only. Now I am trying to click on import. Then one important object is came here. That object is known as connection pool. What is the object sir? Connection pool. Connection pool stores information. What is your database name? What is your username? What is the password? Tell me here. Previously I ran one report here, right? This SQL query is running, right? This SQL query is running, right? Yes or no sir? This SQL query running using sending query to database name ORCL by using connection pool named as what sir? B200 batch connection pool. B200 batch connection pool. That means connection pool is acting as a mediator. Mediator between what sir? OBW and database. Between OBW and database. Inside this connection pool, I have important information. Like one is what is your database name? What is your username? What is your password? And what is the timeout of the connection? What is the maximum number of connections supporting like this available? I will discuss more about this one later point of time. Let me give you here B201 CP. That means what sir? B201 is your batch number. CP stands for connection pool. CP stands for connection pool. Clear? Now I am trying to click on OK. Whenever you click on OK, you can see here shortly all the tables are imported here. We can observe here 4 tables are imported. Once it imported, this side you can observe these all things are what sir? Grayed out, dimmed out. Now if you click on finish, then we can see in the physical layer we are able to see these all things. In the physical layer we are able to see what sir? These all things. If I right click on any one table, click on view data, I am able to see what sir? I am able to see data. Did you provide a username password here? Is it executed from database or it is came from here only? It is coming from database only. Yes or no sir? If you want, I will do one thing. I change this name. Now right click on this one, view data. Now what happens sir? It is a Oracle error or not? It is a Oracle error or not sir? It is Oracle query or not? That means what sir? Whenever you are trying to see the data, trying to see the data, what it is happening sir? One SQL query executing and we are getting the data. So primarily you are working with the metadata or not sir? We imported the table names. We imported the column names. We imported the data type of what that one? And what is the size of that one? These all things are called as what, sir? Metadata. These all things are called as metadata. And also, did you notice it or not? Whenever you went for the file menu, import metadata. Here, what is the option you are seeing, sir? Here, select what, sir? Metadata types. That means what, sir? We are importing only metadata. We are importing only metadata. So what I mean to say is we imported only metadata, not the data, sir. Now I am trying to revert this one, calendar 2. Similarly, if I want to import some more tables, can you import or not, sir? You can import. And one time we created one connection pool. This connection pool is pointed to what database, sir? Warcell database is pointed. If I want to import any table from Warcell database using this connection pool, you can import it. Now we'll try to import it. I want to import EMP table and department table, EMP table and department table I want to import. How I can import it, sir? Right. Yes, right click on the connection pool. Right click on the connection pool object. There we are seeing one option. What is the option, sir? Import metadata option we are seeing. Whenever you click on the import metadata, it is not asking even username and password also. Username and password taken from where, sir? From the connection pool. Now click on next. Go to the SCART. This time we'll import from the SCART. Above. EMP DEPT. Enough. Finish. We are seeing the table or not, sir? We are seeing the table and we are seeing the columns, everything we are seeing it. So this is how we can import, a number of tables, a number of tables. Now, we have chance to import this one very easily, no problem. So if you want to import any table from the Warcell database, only this connection pool is enough or not, sir? Only this connection pool is enough. Any table from the Warcell database, I can go and I can import it. Now, previously one person asked one question. What is the question is, sir, how to add multiple data sources? That means you mean to ask, sir, some tables are coming from Oracle database, some tables are coming from SQL Server. At that moment, how to do it? We'll create one more connection pool for SQL Server. Yes or no, sir? We'll create one more connection pool for SQL Server. If you see your previous batch, let us say Oracle Business Intelligence, BA Administration, File menu, open, let us say offline. I am taking your previous batch that is known as B198. Then latest file, open, RR capital, I take small, 1, 2, 3. Here what is there, sir? Let us say this one is coming from where, sir? XLS. XLS means what, sir? MS Office Excel. So for MS Office Excel purpose, what I created, sir? One connection pool I created with ODBC connection. MS Office corresponding direct native connection is not available. So I went for what, sir? ODBC connection. Tomorrow we are going to understand this, how to create the ODBC connection corresponding to the MS Office Excel. And also we are going to discuss some more points in the physical layer. Am I clear? So let me summarize today what we learned. We learned how to import metadata from Oracle database using native connection. This is only one point we learned. How to import metadata from Oracle database using native connection, we learned it. And whenever you are leaving your class, always you need to do here what's the save button is available. You need to click on the save. Otherwise, whatever work you did, that work will not be available tomorrow. So I am saving it. It is asking for the checking. Checking is not required. Why? Because we didn't finish the BMM layer and presentation layers. As of now, click on what, sir? No. Now I am trying to close this one. Tomorrow I am going to work with the same RPD which is available now. Where it is storing, sir? Previously at the beginning of this one, what is the size of this one? 2 KB. Now what is the size, sir? 4 KB. We imported some 4 tables we imported, right? That is making this 4 KB. Am I clear? Tomorrow we'll discuss this one, but today whatever we did, that we need to practice and we need to come back. Am I clear? Thank you. Bye bye.